Welcome back to the Talking Sports podcast right here on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. And this is another edition of the podcast. And this is a quick promptu. You guys are seeing this right now, Wednesday night, Damian Lillard reaction. Obviously, you guys can tell by the thumbnail, by the title of the episode. We are reacting. Quick episode about Damian Lillard, the trade to Milwaukee, what it means for everything. But before we get into that, JR, who are we sponsored by? And where can they find us on social media?
Hey guys, we are sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code TSP and your first deposit will be matched 100%. That's promo code TSP and they will match 100% of your deposit. We're also on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Talking Sport PD, posting all sports content. NBA season's around the corner. And so, yeah, follow us on social medias for more content, sports content. And we're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, let's get right into this. Look, if you guys know by today, major news was broken. Bucks received Damian Lillard. I'm not going to go to everything, but Bucks received Damian Lillard. The Blazers' key return are DeAndre Ayton and Jrue Holiday, and the Suns get Jusuf Nurkic. They get a Grayson Allen, a Nazir Little, Keon Johnson. The Blazers get a couple picks, some pick swaps. But we're going to talk about the main thing here. Yeah. What does this mean for Milwaukee? Jared, let's get going on this, man.
Yeah, so I think Milwaukee now has Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton, and Giannis. I mean, this is going to be – I think this is already now just – it's the best team in the East. Yeah. Right? One of the – maybe even the best team in the league. I know the Suns have their own big three over there. But this is huge because, I mean, Damian Lillard – pairing him up with Giannis, I mean, that is a duo, a really great duo. And the only thing within the trade, I don't understand why the Suns gave up DeAndre Ayton.
I don't like that for them.
I don't like that either because Nurkic plays no defense. And I feel like I think the only reason that I could think of is the money, cap, salary. I mean, he got paid good amount of money. Nurkic isn't. But yeah, go.
Well, I thought Ayton, and obviously Ayton's not the biggest part of this deal, but I thought Ayton is very valuable to where the Suns are because they have a ton of scoring with Durant, with Booker, with Beal, and Beal's not a great defender. Booker is, and KD's kind of going towards the age where he doesn't want to defend as much for sake of being healthy and not getting injured. Ayton was like that rim protector, that defender down low, that guy that can kind of do the dirty work, that fourth option. Nurkic doesn't really fit that. They're just going offense, and they're just not going to care. They're not going to play defense.
I'd give it sounds like they're very compatible offensive wise, but I'd give the edge a little bit to Nurkic on offense.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he'll do better. He's kind of reminds me of like Vucevic a little bit, you know?
Yeah, but he's not, and Vucevic's not known for defense. I know as a Bulls fan. I don't get a lot of defense when I watch that team. But look, if you're Milwaukee, right? And as soon as I saw this, before I saw what they gave up, as long as they didn't give up like a Chris Middleton or obviously a Giannis, which they didn't, they get Dame. They get one of the best point guards in the NBA, a guy that wants to win a championship, that was there in Portland for years and years and years, got close with a conference finals appearance. Obviously, they were never good enough to get to a championship. This team is the best team in the East.
Yeah.
You have Giannis, Middleton, and Dame as your big three. You still have Brook Lopez. You still have Bobby Portis. I think you do lose kind of that glue guy, that veteran defender in Jrue Holiday.
Yeah.
But this team's better than Boston. This team's better than Philly. This team is.
No team really matches. No team matches up with them scoring wise, offensive wise.
They're better than Miami. That's what I was thinking of as well.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, Dame, I feel like just complements Giannis so well because he does everything Giannis doesn't do great, and vice versa. Because Giannis doesn't need, the score on the outside. He doesn't even need to be the primary scorer anymore.
He doesn't.
Not saying he won't. I mean, it's Giannis, but he doesn't need to. Dame is a great elite scorer. And then I'll turn it to like the Trailblazer side a little bit. Like, I think they got a good return. I mean,
really?
Jrue Holiday, veteran. Yeah, what the Blazers are trying to do, they're not trying to win right now.
Well,
if Shaedon Sharpe, they just drafted Scoot. They want Scoot to be that guy. Maybe pairing it up with Jrue Holiday, who's a veteran.
Anthony Simmons.
Who emphasizes defense. Maybe get Scoot thinking about on the defensive side of the ball as well. And then they got 2 first-round picks. And Dame didn't want to be there. They were kind of forced their hand a little bit, and they got, I think, a good return.
Well, we have learned when superstars make a trade request, the team that he's on never gets benefited as much as they probably should have if he doesn't make that request. When he says, I'm not showing up to media day, basically, and I'm not showing up, teams are like, well, why would I give more than I have to if he's just not going to show up? You kind of don't have a choice. And that's unfair. It's unfair to the Blazers, but it's the nature of the superstar-driven league. I got it. I think the Blazers did fine. I said off air, Jared. I don't know how, and we've heard this today. I don't know how long Jrue Holiday is going to be there in Portland. They might look to move him. They could get a first round pick for Jrue Holiday. In this NBA, you can get a young piece.
Lakers don't really have first round picks, but a team like the Lakers,
you can get a young piece for Jrue Holiday, a team that wants to win. Maybe Miami goes gets him. Miami needs a veteran guard. I don't know. They were in, and look. This is one of those trades where we never saw coming. We knew Dame was getting moved. I would say most of us thought it was Miami because that's all we heard. And then lately we heard there's a secret team. There were some other teams. Somehow the Bulls were mentioned in that. I don't know why. The Bulls were never going to get Damian Lillard. That would have been crazy, but I didn't even get my hopes up. But like Milwaukee goes and thinks, look, we won a championship a couple years ago. Obviously, it was Milwaukee, Golden State. And this past year, it was Nuggets. So it's a couple of years ago since their championship. They faltered in the playoffs the last 2 years. They have Giannis. He's been kind of eerie about his future in Milwaukee. He hasn't really been like, I'm here. I want to stay. He's kind of talked about, I want to win a championship. And they're like, well, crap. We don't want to waste this talent. You don't want to waste it. Why would you? Go get Damian Lillard. This team thinks they can compete. We already thought, Jared, they were Eastern.
They were always finals contenders.
No, we thought they were finals contenders, and we thought they can come out of the East. Yeah. I don't know if you and I would have picked them if they didn't get Dame, but they were in the same. They're in the top with Philly, with Boston, with Miami, whoever else you want to throw in there. Now they might have gone to Tier A and have left Philly and the Bostons of the world in the dust.
As playing devil's advocate here, can you say this might make them worse, but because Jrue Holiday kind of complimented that team, like he was the defensive guy. Can you say that this team might struggle now because like Dame's not a defensive player, he wants the ball, but I feel like Giannis isn't really a ball dominant player, and Chris Middleton, I feel like he could still do what he does. But like, could you maybe say like, oh, this could not hurt the Bucks, but like not be as good as people think?
You know what? I agree. This could backfire. You lose kind of the veteran, even though Dame's really veteran, but Jrue Holiday has championship pedigree, defensive pedigree. The thing is, they noticed last year when Giannis was out, that scoring dips. This is kind of a guy in a postseason series that can take over a series. He doesn't done it by himself, but if God forbid Giannis's injury flares up again for game 4 and 5, I don't know, then you have a guy that can kind of carry the load offensively. Then if you don't have Giannis, then it's a Jrue Holiday Middleton show on offense. That's not a great show trying to win a series. It's a big difference offensively when you just have Dame and Middleton than Jrue and Middleton. You do lose defense. You do. That's
a lot. Defense,
you do. Yeah. But I think they're thinking like we have Giannis defensively. Bobby Portis is a good defender.
Yeah.
I think Middleton's a pretty good defender. I'm not.
No, he is. So he at least used to be. But.
Yeah. So you have defense. Look, the Suns, they're the complete opposite. Like if you were talking about a team that's not great defensively, the Bucks, the Suns are just terrible defensively with that roster. It's crazy where
they're just hoping to score 200 and the other team like one.
But like I think Philly's a fine defensive team. I think Miami's a good defensive team. I think Boston's pretty good, but like Milwaukee's like thinking, well, you have Tatum and Brown coming at us, right? Philly has Harden, Maxey, and Embiid coming at you. We needed a second guy. Middleton's kind of taking a step back Well, Middleton's kind of taking a step back in the productivity.
Yeah,
and now you have
as a third option. That's one of the best.
Yeah, it's great.
Third option in the league aside from
Dame. Yeah, you have Dame, and then you have Giannis. This is a loaded team.
And then also on the Suns' point of view, when they were in the trade as well, I think that we said maybe financial, but also the Ayton part of the trade. I think they just wanted depth because they had no depth on that team. Getting like a couple more players. Like, what do they get? Grace
Yeah,
Allen.
Suns were just weird.
I like
They
the
were just,
Nestor a little, but
yeah. You know what? You get
like a throw in that trade. Just like
well, Grayson Allen's good depth on the bench, good bench piece. He's won a championship in Milwaukee. Nazir Little's a good defender. He's a bench piece. Keon Johnson's raw as hell. So I don't know if he's that valuable.
Yeah.
I don't love the Phoenix. I don't love it. I don't hate it.
You didn't really talk much on the Blazers' point of view. Did you?
Well, I did say that I don't think the Blazers could have gotten as much as they could have because of the fact that
knowing that he forced his hand,
they'd be fine. The first round pick in 2029, if you're a Blazers fan, you're like, oh boy, like it's a tough pill to swallow a little. But
hey,
look,
first pick, you know,
you're gonna have another top 5 pick next year because you're gonna be bad. You're gonna look at you have a Shaedon Sharp, Anthony Simmons.
I don't think they're gonna be as bad as people think.
Scoot,
although
they're gonna be Scoot's gonna take a crap ton of shots.
Yeah, and he's gonna be under a lot of pressure. I mean, they traded him anyway, and they picked you. Like, you're the guy now.
You knew this was coming when they drafted Scoot.
Yeah, I think everyone. If they drafted,
and we knew when Dame wanted out. Like it was done. If I was the Blazers, I'm trying to get rid of Drew Holiday. Yeah. You know what? They also have DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get rid of Drew Holiday? Are you making it work? Are you like playing in that middle ground? I don't know.
Yeah, they got to do what the Thunder do. Just like they take a player with a lot of financial restrictions, a little older, doesn't fit their future, and then dish him out for
get him out. I would think about Jeremy Grant being on the block. That could be a deadline guy that you might give up.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant.
That's a guy a title team could use.
Mm-hmm.
Good defender, good wing, good stretch 4. NBA loves that.
Off your head right now. Are the Bucks favorites to win the finals? I know it's just like on the spot, but
I think they're second. I want to say second.
Behind the Suns?
Denver. I'm going Denver.
Denver again. Okay.
Denver. I think there's a top 3 teams. I think it's Denver, Milwaukee, and Phoenix.
Yeah, I like that.
Milwaukee's definitely the odds-on favorite to probably go on any sports website to win the East.
Dame got traded. Bam.
To win the East, yeah. I went on FanDuel today.
Definitely win the East.
And they locked it. But yeah, make sure you guys go on Underdog Fantasy. You can a little pick them with Damian Lillard, a little over-under for Damian Lillard throughout the year. Jay, anything else you want to touch on before we say adios to the audience?
No, I like this trade. I think Milwaukee needed to change some stuff up. They went big.
It's not changing stuff up. This is
gonna be fun watching Dame.
You're going for it
because I always thought they complement each other so well. Dame's never had a player on any of the. I mean, his best partner, McCollum. He's never had a player in Giannis's caliber. No. So I think it's gonna be really fun because they complement each other so well. So yeah, it's been crazy. But yeah, it's cool.
I always thought he was a Miami Heat.
He fits that team well too.
Yeah, and Jimmy Butler came out today, said there was
Bucks came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they were the sneaky team that people were talking about.
Did you see the Shams thing?
He put the Raptors on it by accident.
And he deleted it, and so maybe the Raptors are really but that doesn't do anything for Dame. He doesn't want to be in Toronto. He wants out of Portland, not to go to another.
No. If you're trading for Dame, you got to make sure you're title contending. And if Dame can't, he's not complaining. He's already happy. He tweeted something about like thank you.
He said real stories coming soon for the diehard
non-casuals. I was like,
the non-casuals.
Maybe casuals.
I think he might pull some stuff out of the unknown about the Portland Trailblazers.
I don't know. I hate when people do that. Like, whatever. Okay,
but yeah, pretty cool news. I'm excited.
Pretty cool news. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed our reaction. We tried to get we've never done this type of video before, so hopefully you guys enjoy this. Jared, where can everyone follow us on social media, and who will be sponsored by?
So, guys, like Pete was mentioning, Underdog Fantasy, code TSP. If you're an NBA fan watching this, when the season's around, use code TSP to create an Underdog Fantasy account, and you get a 100% match on your deposit. And then also, we are on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Talking Sports PD. Don't forget to follow us and keep up to date with all other content, because we don't just post YouTube videos and podcasts. We do other content, picks, and stuff like that. So at Talking Sports PD on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And don't forget, we're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And please subscribe if you haven't already.
Road to 5K. K on YouTube. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Enjoy this episode. Tomorrow, enjoy our Underdog Fantasy Week 4 NFL Pick'em. Enjoy everything that we have coming for you guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.